Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. I got a topic I want to talk about. I have talked about this before on my Medium before they booted me from the platform, but I got a lot of flack when I talked about white people and um, not caring about white tears. And I feel like we need to have this conversation now. The African American Black community, because we have been conditioned to care about everybody except ourselves. We have been conditioned to put ourselves, our hurt, our lack of repair on the back burner and care about everybody else, love everybody else back to life, and then we go back to our little raggedy, depleted selves. And so now we're at this juncture in world history where we don't have nothing to give to nobody. We don't hardly have no energy, for anything extra except for living in captivity. We don't have um, resources to take care of our people. Our people ain't hardly got much common sense. We can't think for ourselves. We have been entertained to death to the point where we are constantly distracted. We've been compelled by just, hundreds of years of lies to um, forgive and not even consider that this country and nations all over the globe owe us a debt that has never been repaid. Everybody else can be repaid except for us. And so now the Most High is getting ready to exact vengeance on the globe. And, it's happening gradually, but people are still trying to compel us to feel sorry for other groups and to have compassion for other groups. Well, why? I keep thinking about Amari Stoudemire, and this is not the first time he just said something stupid, but just the fact that he called out Black Lives Matter, no other groups, and then the fact that we know that there are Black Israelites, um, true Israelites living on that dusty old plot of land over there called Israel that they made up and discriminated against, basically segregated exactly the same way we have been segregated here in America. And then for him to call us out, like we supposed to rush to the aid of those people when they don't ever come to our aid. And, you know, I hate to say this because I know people are going to be like, oh, she's racist. But, we have to look at nations. And when we look at nations, I look at white people, anybody with pale skin. To me, that's a nation. I know they want to divide themselves up into different places and say, oh, we got some of this in our blood. But how you act, to me, also makes you a part of a nation. And we all know that there is so much anti-Black sentiment among other nations across this globe. Even Africans, they don't like us. They don't respect us. But let something happen, and they're like, well, we didn't say nothing. Well, why would we say anything about it? What is it about this world needing African Americans to help them to love? Like, it's like everybody treats us as if we are slaves, even our own people. And so I found this video on the Gates of Huldah, and I love this channel. If you don't watch this channel, you should. She does a really good job of bringing up historical information to demonstrate who we are here in America, African Americans, that we are the people of the book. Not only that, but she does a really good job of showing how all these other nations conspired against us with Rome, with the Catholic Church. how Christianity was devised and was used and is still used to mislead our people, to keep us captive and to keep us from fighting for ourselves and worrying about ourselves like other nations do. And so, again, if you have not gone through her catalog of videos, I strongly recommend that you do. She does a wonderful job. But I want to show you this video. And my years of working in professional settings led me to come to the conclusion that I cannot care about white tears. I cannot hardly care about what white people say, because at the end of the day, there's something in most of them. And I'm not going to say all of them, the majority of them who do not have this revelation in the heart of this woman in this video who's telling the truth, that when their backs up against the wall, they will throw us under the bus. They will use their white tears to compel us to forgive them. They will turn situations around to make themselves look like the victims when we, African American Black people, are in captivity and we are the victims. Like, we've seen it time and time again. So for me, what she was saying confirmed my attitude of why I am strongly pro African American Black people. I'm minding Black business. And it's not that I don't care about other groups, because if someone is in need or someone's in pain, I'm an empathetic person, so immediately I go into caretaker mode. I'm a mom, so just life in general, being in touch with nature, there's something natural about just generally helping people. I know that's what we are supposed to do. But we're not supposed to care for other people and other groups more than we care for our brothers and sisters. And so that is the law that I try to live by. I care about my brothers and sisters first. I care about my brothers and sisters the most. I'm not going to give complete strangers more than I give to my own people first, because I know how deficient we are in every area. We are anemic in everything. And so, when I think about it, white people know what they've done to us. They know what they've done to us. I tell the story about, I had a friend who was Italian, and I think she was Catholic. I don't know if she was Catholic or Christian. It was a few years ago. And we were hanging out for years. I've, stayed over her house. We've traveled together. We hang out, go to the beach and stuff. And it was one of the first and only times that I ever had a white friend, but I just, our friendship had a stopping point when it came to race. Immediately she would get defensive, and her ex-husband, or her deceased husband, was retired law enforcement. So that's a whole other bag of bones to dig in. But the other thing is that they don't like to talk about race, honestly. If it's like we're doing the oppression Olympics. If I say I'm Black, well, when I was little, I'm Italian, my hair was curly. They used to call me Black. They used to call me buckwheat. And so we would have these conversations. But the thing that really woke me up was when I found out who we were. One day we were having a phone conversation, and I mentioned it to her. And she told me, I know. Oh, I already know. I know. She knew, and she knew that I didn't know because I never mentioned it. But she did not tell me. My white friend didn't tell me, because that's a privilege that they have over us in order for them to continue to lord over us. They are gatekeepers of information. They are gatekeepers of who we are, in order to maintain control over us, in order to hoard all the wealth and resources on the earth, stuff that belongs to us, that the Most High gave to us. This is our land. This is our earth. We're supposed to go out and multiply and prosper and do right. And we have been taught to do everything but what the Most High told us to do. And so, that's one of the reasons that we are in captivity. But, for right now, that's neither here nor there. I want to focus on white tears, especially what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Ukraine, what's getting ready to be happening in the Middle East. All these white countries getting ready to have hell break out. What's going on in Europe. They're going to be compelling us to care. They're going to be compelling us to shed tears with them, stand with them, speak with them, march with them. Nobody does that for us. Nobody's trying to give us reparations. All these nations have had a hand in getting their wealth from us. And now they are fighting amongst themselves to keep their wealth and to keep us oppressed. Notice they trying to wipe out all the white people on earth because they know they can dominate, subjugate, and exterminate us at will. They've already crafted the plan that there's nothing new under the sun. They're just going to continue to execute the same thing that they do as long as we stay under their spell. Part of the spell is white tears. Part of the spell is the evil communications that they use to show their suffering, but not our suffering, and crafted messages that make them look like victims when truly they are the villains. And so I hate to tell us to embrace villainy, but at some point, in order to preserve ourselves, we are going to have to focus inward. We're going to have the Black community is going to have to become introverted for our own preservation. And when you listen to this woman in this video, think about, what I have said about how this world wants us to care about everybody but ourselves, and nobody cares about us. It's just amazing. But think about what Amari Stoudemire said. Think about how some of these other groups are always calling us out. We're like, we over here minding our own business. We can't keep our heads above water. And you want us to stop getting our asses beat and stop getting our kids picked on at school and putting in special needs classes for nothing and labeled, stopping our sons and fathers and brothers from being stopped by rogue, corrupt cops to address your issues. When you white, you got white skin, you got all the privileges in the world, we have none. Does that make any sense to y'all? It doesn't. And you're going to understand why in a second.
People in particular would probably argue that indeed we think white people know non-white people, and by that knowing are more able to control and dominate and keep the power dynamic as it is. How would you respond to that?
We know what we've done to you. And we know what over 500 years we've put in your heads. And we know how to utilize that. And we know how to take advantage of that. And we even know how to have a black friend. We know the dynamics of who is in control. And I don't care how much the system has changed to the point to where what is politically correct at this point might be different from what was politically correct in the 50s. We still know where your place is. We know where our place is. And to me, the greatest deception that we've caused is your people believe us when we say this is my place and that is your place. Because I see evidence, and especially in seminars like this, because I will hear non-whites speak, and I hear them speak when they don't even know that they're speaking from a position that I have told them is the only way they're going to be allowed to succeed to that degree that I'm going to let them come up that ladder. Of course, I'm just going to let them come up so far. But the greatest sadness for me is that they don't even know. See, I have done such a good job that they don't even know that I've done this to them. A strong black man one time said to me, one of the greatest things you can do for my people is to stop shedding any tears. Because I'm very emotional. I get very emotional because this is my heart. And it's what I will probably die doing. I have no illusions about what my people think about the work that I do. And I realize that. But when I talk with someone, it would be very easy for me to begin to weep at what we do and what we have done. And he said to me, you must stop the tears because my people are so conditioned to putting their arms around you and comforting you when you weep, then they are no longer strong. Their strength that is coming from standing up and saying, no, you're not going to treat me like that. That strength is gone because they've got their arms around you, comforting you. And I have tried to listen to the wisdom of that very, very wise man. I can't always, When I sat in that room the other night, when the author of Without Sanctuary, when he was speaking and those pictures were there of the lynchings, the methods that we have used to keep control, I wept, that I could. But when I wept, his words came back to me because all around me, the non-white people would reach out and comfort me. My God, there in front of, I don't understand it. See, I don't understand the closeness that your people have with the Mother Earth, with the concept of beginnings, God Himself.
So did you hear her say she don't understand? This is the other reason why I can't entertain hardly anything that white people say anymore, because we're different, period, point blank. Our people are a spiritual people. We are created to be connected to the Most High and everything that He created. And it's the reason we are the way that we are. Nobody else can understand us. We understand each other. I don't care where you go. I can go to the Caribbean. I can go to South America. I can go to the continent of Africa. I can go any place in this world as long as it ain't a raccoon clan thing. And some raccoons, they like white people. But any place else where it's just us, people who are scattered, we know we have ways of knowing that are spiritual that white people will never understand. We're not like them. And so, one of the reasons that we must revert back to our old ways and to coming together and repairing one another in our own community, is because what's coming on this earth is coming for them. It's not coming for us. And they are going to have to reap what they've sown. They've done so much, not just to us, but to other nations, that they're going to receive judgment. And they don't really understand. They think their money is going to save them. They think their weapons is going to save them. They think their big talk going to save them. Ain't nothing going to save them. They're done. Their rule is over. The ones that survive gonna be slaves like the rest of us, or going to captivity like we were. Hopefully, I'm praying that we are removed and we don't have to go through much. I know we will see some trouble, but not as much trouble as these folks are gonna see. And you think they don't understand? They're going to understand when the tables are turned on them. And they're going to be looking for us to save them. Just like we've done during the Civil War. There are always some people who are going to think that they can fight with these folks and help these folks, and then life is going to be better for them. It may be better for you individually, but it's not going to be better for the collective, because these people do not change. They don't have no new tricks. The trick is trick you into believing that they're going to be different if you help them, and then after you help them, they don't do nothing for you, or they'll do something for you for a spell, but as soon as we take it and it's blessed by the Most High, and we are able to grow it and make it prosper, and it's more than what they have, they're going to get angry. They're going to come and do what they always do. So you cannot work with them. You cannot work with them. Not the ones that have the heart of those types. Now, I don't believe this woman has that heart now, but her ancestors probably did. And so, and she still benefits from her privilege from just having white skin and blonde hair. So we are going to have to really buckle down and understand, we're going to have to put up a force field around us. You're not going to be able to allow those white tears and those uh, compelling white words, victimization, to knock us off our square. We got to stand firm, and we got to understand that they know what they do to us. They know how to trigger us. We're living in a big old psyop. We've been conditioned for 500 years. That conditioning has been passed on from all my people to me, and I've probably passed it on to my children. But we're going to have to learn how to break this cycle, because it's the only way we're going to be able to preserve ourselves.
There is so much of that in you that you can forgive me and comfort me when I'm weeping at what I've done to you. See, that's it's beyond my understanding. I don't understand the 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 kindness, and I say the word forgiveness, and God forgive me for saying the word forgiveness, because another very wise black man said to me, don't ever ask my people for forgiveness, because the word forgiveness means the eradication of a debt. If someone owes you money and you forgive that debt, then they don't owe you anymore. And I don't want to ever be a part of, for even a moment between just the two of us, eradicating any part of the debt that I owe you, because it's a just debt. And it's a debt that needs to be repaid to the fullness of my ability to repay. So what I say to you is, I apologize for what my people, for what I've done to you to your ancestors, to your children, and unless we're successful here, to your grandchildren. I apologize, and I mean that, see, and to any non-white that hears me. But I don't ask your forgiveness. Did I go off?
No, all of this is relevant and helpful. So, speak as you will. You mentioned that white people who classify themselves as white, are aware, they know what has been done, what they have done over the years to non-white people. And there are two particular areas of activity that appear to be critical to maintaining the system of racism and white supremacy. These are activities that people all over the planet engage in. And the first one is religion. So can you talk specifically about what white persons have done to or taught non-white people in the area of religion in the context of racism?
You're wanting it to be to where I can't ever go home. That's it.
Y'all listen up. This is really important, especially for our people, especially for those still in the Christian church. What I found interesting is she was like, she can't go home. It's like, we've been in captivity for hundreds of years. Who cares if she can go home? She can get on the airplane and go anytime she wants. And I'm sure this is old. And I'm not being dismissive at all about what she's saying. But, you know, I, I took that. I was a little insulted when she said it, because that's something that white people always do. They always put themselves in front of us, even, with sacrificing. um she's like, I can't go back home, with no thought of the fact that we were kidnapped from our home, and even though we're here, we're still not home. They won't let us be at home. We cannot have rest. There is no peace. There is no refuge. And so for her to say that she can't go home, when you're white, any place you go on earth can be your home, because you've conditioned the whole entire earth to let you have your way. So wherever you go, they make you be at home. They accommodate you. So, even that, even though she's being gracious and apologetic, this is one of the examples of how inconsiderate sometimes, when they're trying to apologize, they still continue to be. That was a cut for me. It's like, you can't go home. Anywhere you go on earth is home. You can go to another country. People treat you like you kings. They cater to you first. Even if you are rude and obnoxious and you get on their nerves, they understand you have the power to make something happen to them. So they are more likely to mistreat me, someone who has no power, versus you. And you have resources. You can move any place on earth. You could go any place and start over. And because you're white, you get a pass. We don't get that. So, when they say that kind of stuff, I'm like, I don't care if you can't go home. Who cares? We over here stuck like Chuck. No resources, no reparations, no nothing. And they worried about going home and dealing with their own people. Although I will say, she should be scared of her people. But the fact that, you got to pay a price for telling the truth, we do every day. So who cares? Anywho.
Christianity has been misused for hundreds of years to keep your people in subjugation. And I'm speaking now a reality that the history books do not record, but history does. Christianity was used because if I said okay, you don't believe the way I believe, and Christianity is the best way to believe. So I'm going to take you, and it's going to be for your own good, honey. It's going to be for your own good. I'm going to take you, and I'm going to tear away everything about you, and just keep your hands and your feet, because they can help me getting off. But I'm going to do this for your own good, because I'm going to give you a God. Now, what does that God look like?
Yes, what does that God look like? He
All right.
looked like the oppressor. Yeah.
Okay, so this is where we're going to end up, because notice how these people look like. This person looks like them folks in Ukraine, or the folks in Israel, or the folks any place that's suffering in Whitelandia, Europe, whatever. They will show their suffering, and we're all supposed to be compelled. If the skin is white, you need to do something. You need to act. Um, they can't suffer. We, on the other hand, nobody cares about our suffering. Nobody cares about our people. We've been in captivity for hundreds of years, scattered for hundreds of years. Our ancestors are buried in strange lands. We're not even supposed to be in these places. They don't care. They don't care. They don't even talk about it. They just erase it like it didn't even happen. Not even a part of history. So as these events start kicking up, because you're going to see a lot of stuff happen in Europe, you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff happen in the Middle East, where there are white Africans. Let's call it what it is. You're going to start seeing stuff happen to white people here in America, and they're going to be calling y'all up to cry for them. They're going to be calling y'all up, on y'all to fight their battles, get them out of the messes that they made, give them our resources, our time, our energy, our brain cells to serve them, with the promise of, once we get out this mess, we going to be friends. Well, we done did that already. So we already know what they're going to do for us. Just go back to the end of the Reconstruction era, the beginning of it and the end of it. You're going to see what they do for us. After that, you got black codes and Jim Crow. And then you got 50 years of equality that everybody else benefited from except for black people. And now they are erasing everything that they gave us so they can put us back into captivity in our places. So as this world transitions into this new system, don't take the bait. Do not fall for the white tears. Do not fall for the evil communications that portray these people as victims, because every nation on this earth has had a hand in helping us remain captives. They've benefited from our labor. They've benefited from the mistreatment of us. They've ignored our suffering. They have not saved us. They have stolen from us. A lot of them are living in lands that don't even belong to them. They have made up lands and made up stories. They knew who we were, and they allowed the truth to be hidden. They created religions so that we would be brainwashed, and a lot of our people are still brainwashed. So as you see all these things play out around the globe, Black Americans, African American Black people, we need to be introverts. We need to focus on ourselves. We need to build ourselves up. We need to encourage ourselves. We need to protect ourselves. We need to love on ourselves. We need to get back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High that they stole from us and changed. And we need to get back to our culture, because we had a culture. We have a culture. We need to protect our culture. We need to reclaim our cultures and our traditions. We need to get back to our ways of knowing. And we need to get back to, although we do this, informally, and this part of comedy, part of just who we are, our ways of knowing are verbal, through hand gestures and stories and informal, non-written communications. We need to get back to that. We need to start talking to one another and telling stories and talking about history, so that whatever happens, we'll be able to pass it down to the next generation and to others, because the day is coming where we're not going to have internet. We're not going to have books. Books are going to be rewritten. They're rewriting the Bible right now as we speak. So when everything goes down and comes back up, you're going to have a new Bible. They're probably going to burn all the old ones. So again, culture will change, tradition will change, religion will change. The methods to control the masses will change, and we will be in more trouble, because we already don't know nothing, because it's been hidden and we're just now trying to wake up. And so now they're trying to hurry up and cover their tracks by changing um, the Bible, the Torah, and creating this new religion, this new system, so that we can remain oppressed, and they can bring in the new people that they are planning on oppressing. So it's up to our people to wake up, but it's also up to our people to not fall for the tricks of the dominant society. We got white Jesus, and white Jesus is tearing us up. I mean, he winning. We have to ignore white tears. So they're going to be showing you all these pictures on TV of all these people dead and all these people crying and weeping. Nobody cried and wept. Nobody cried and wept for us when we were hanging from trees. Nobody is crying and weeping. We march. If we don't stand up for ourselves, nobody else holds this country accountable. Nobody else holds the West accountable. Nobody holds white Australians accountable for what they did to the indigenous people there. Nobody holds anybody accountable when they do stuff to our people who are scattered, people who have been slaughtered. Whole tribes of people have disappeared from the face of the earth, and they're just forgotten. Yet we are supposed to remember and join in on the suffering, and have compassion and be remorseful when people with pale skin suffer, even after they've made us suffer, even if they after they've benefited from our suffering. We can't do that no more, y'all. We cannot do that. And so you should not feel guilty about doing it. And it don't have nothing to do with hate. I didn't say nothing about hate. I said the laws of nature is number one, self-preservation. And we are in a desperate situation. We got to preserve ourselves. One of the things that this lady talked about in this video is how strong she noted two strong black men, not women, men. And so, what we have to do is build up our men in our communities. We're going to have to work together. We are in a state of disarray. We have been divided uh, with tricks of the enemy, divide and conquer. So, there are plenty of people in our communities who don't like each other. Men don't like women, women don't like men, nobody like the children. And instead of seeing, this is not healthy, this is not normal, we just participate in it. And at some point, we're all going to have to become adults and be like, we've all been tricked. It's just like the awakening. When we woke up, I've always had a love for our people, although my people frustrates me a lot. I've always had a love for our people. But once I found out the truth, who we were, it just made me want to teach my people more, wake my people up more, help my people. And even if they're stubborn and hard headed and unable to see the truth, it makes me want to put myself in a position where I can be resourceful to my people when they come to me when they need stuff, because I understand the hour is coming where we're going to be in a broken state. And until we leave here, we're going to be all we got. And so um, I want to close with saying, let us not get caught up in what's going on in this world. Like, we need to pay attention and we need to keep watch. But let us not get so into everybody else's suffering that we forget about our own. Let us not put away our efforts to heal ourselves, because notice, everybody is fine until we wake up, until we start saying, oh, that ain't our business. I'm minding black business. As soon as we start saying we minding black business, oh, everybody got up in the city. Well, black people ain't caring enough. Black people ain't standing up. What we supposed to do? We ain't got no army. We don't have no weapons. We don't have no we don't have nothing. We don't even have no uniforms. Even if we had an army, we ain't even got uniforms, because they will not allow us to come together for anything, because they're too afraid to allow us to get together, because they are scared we are going to subjugate, dominate, and exterminate them. They're always afraid that we're going to do to them what they've done to us. So they want to harness our energy, have us be like, oh yeah, we're supporting these people. There must be even something in our energy that they can get something from. That's what I gather. Because what difference does it make if we say, oh yeah, we support what's happening over there, over yonder? I'm trying to speak um, in between the lines. What difference does it make? We can't contribute nothing. We don't have one fighter jet. We don't have one bullet. We don't have one missile. We don't have nothing to contribute to help nobody. So what difference does it make if we support or don't support, or if we're silent? What difference does it make? It must mean something. They know something. We have a power. We have spirit. There is something special about us. And everybody keeps taking it from us. We got to learn to keep our special uh, power, or whatever this energy is, and use it to heal ourselves, use it to protect ourselves, use it to war. Because now we are in a spiritual war ourselves. We got to work. We need our energy for our own spiritual warfare. We got to fight these principalities that's whooping up on them. So no, we are minding black business. I'm all for minding black business. I'm about minding black business. And if you are a Gentile and you are not an African American Gentile and you are offended by that, then this probably is not the channel for you. Um, Grafted in people, you should understand that a lot has been done. If you read your word, you know that you must do recompense. And if that has not been done, then there is no justice and there should be no mercy from us. Now, it is not for us to hate our enemies. We are told not to do that, and we are told to love our neighbors, but we ain't got to like you, and we ain't got to follow you, and we don't have to listen to you. What we do have to do is understand who our enemies are, what our enemies will do to us, and we must study them like they study us so that we can protect ourselves. Because if not, they will try to wipe us off the face of the earth. And that's what's coming. So while we're distracted about what they're doing, they're destroying each other. When they finish, where you think they're going to redirect their energy? At us, the most hated group of people on this earth. But the apple of the Most High's eye, the chosen people. So, with that said, don't y'all fall for those white tears. Don't let the raccoons compel y'all to take a side. Mind African American Black business. Mind the business of scattered Israel. Mind the awakening. Mind getting folks out of Christianity. And for that matter, Islam and Judaism, because hey, all of them was created by Rome. There are so many things that we have to learn in so little time to learn it. If you're chosen in this hour, you got work to do. If you are asleep and you're just waking up, you got work to do, because there are a whole lot of us who are sleeping, who are going to be a danger to us and a danger to themselves. And we have to be ready for that, because we're all conditioned, all of us, we are conditioned by Christianity and all these other religions that were created by them folks to control us. And so part of getting out of the matrix is waking up and understanding the power of mind control, and how religion and white supremacy have been used as tools to make us feel sorry for our oppressors. It's time out for that. If we keep doing that, we ain't never getting out of this oppression. As a matter of fact, we're gonna die here. So I'm praying and believing that all my people are going to wake up. I know all of us are not going to wake up, but I'm praying that we do wake up, because we are stronger when there are more of us on, you know, in on one accord. And we gotta pray corporately, regularly, so that our people will wake up. But this lady told the truth, and I'm grateful when white people do tell the truth, but it don't make me have no more compassion for them, because I understand at the end of the day, like I tell my sons, any white person can join a militia and hunt us down and kill us, because that's the law of this land. You read the Constitution. If the government decides they don't have enough people in the military to help fight, to save the homeland, they'll just draft white people, white men, white women, white children, just in white, just stick a gun in their hand and they can come hunt us down. I don't I'm not bothered by white tears. I'm going to say that. And I'm not going to be compelled by anybody trying to make me have some for them. I'm about Black business. I'm about preserving Black people. And I care about us first. And until we are well, until we are made whole, until we receive recompense, until we leave our captivity, we cannot afford to be concerned about nothing else going on in this world. They're telling us every day it's going to be bad for us. They've already predicted by 2028, we're going to be gone. We ain't going to have no money. Black people will have zero wealth. And our replacements are here. So while you worried about what's going on over there in the Middle East, you better be worried about what's going on right here in North America, on this continent, because what's going on over there is coming over here. And those people that's compelling you today to be concerned about those people over there, when the heat get on their butts, they're going to turn on you like nothing. So don't be hoodwinked. Do not be fooled. It's a big old psyop. Only the smart gonna survive. All right, y'all, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey. The links are in the description. In the event that I get kicked off of this platform, you can find me on Rumble and Odyssey. All of my old videos that I've done previously are on Odyssey, and I'll be able to record new content on Rumble. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, links are in the description. I do not receive any, resources from affiliates. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I just do this as a labor of love for my people. So anytime you show me love, I'm always grateful. And if you've shown me love in the past, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. All right, y'all, this is Marley K. Keep praying, keep prepping, mind your Black business. Obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Ask for forgiveness daily for sins of commission and sins of omission. Pray over the awakening and pray that the spirit of Christianity, that stronghold that is on our people, falls away, that people awaken. And the same for people, black people who converted to Judaism, and black people who are part of Islam. Like, if you study where all those religions came from, we just really need to come to terms with we've been tricked and walk away from all these supremacist forms of religion that control us. And at the end of the day, while they may have some good uh, pieces of the religions, they all stem from, what the Most High gave to us, the one true um, uh, law, statutes, and commandments that came from Him. They all took them and modified them and made them into something else. But those things we always had. And so while we're divided, again, it's divide and conquer. So let us get out of that cycle of that being divided so we can be easily conquered, because we're stronger in numbers. And as long as they have us divided, our power is diminished. And we are a powerful people. If you read in the Old Testament, when we were strong and obedient, you couldn't whoop us. And they know that. That's why they always scared for us to come together. That's why they always need us to look here and focus on this and hug white people when they're sad and fix white people's problems and these groups of people's problems and worry about everybody but ourselves. Because if we're worn down and tired and disillusioned and disenfranchised and just lost, they win. We'll never get our superpowers. It's time for us to get our superpowers, baby. Become introverts, mind your black business, and ignore those white tears. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I'm out.